Well, Joe, I think that this speaks to a much broader problem that we have right now just with our culture and with the role that people who have platforms, who have programs, shows, networks, their role and responsibility to the public at large. When you normalize someone who was one of the architects of what turned out to be a domestic terrorist attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th, when you normalize someone who was helping swing the wrecking ball to try to destroy democracy as we know it, that is a very dangerous precedent to face. This isn't just like Joe Rogan and Spotify. Joe Rogan, who's never held a public office, who's never been in a government job, who hasn't advised any elected officials and certainly not presidents. This is a guy, Rudy Giuliani, who sat shotgun to the president of the United States as he tried to overturn a free and fair election, helped him carry out his henchman, his number one person. And you try to normalize that by giving him a spot on a game show where he's going to look like a fool, where people are going to laugh at him. We're going to see him as more of an entertainment figure than what he is, a dangerous person who acted traitorously towards the United States of America.
Yeah, I mean, let me just play a little bit. This is Rudy Giuliani and his unraveling conspiracy theories after the election. Just a little bit of that. Take a look.
The call for Joe Biden is it? Who was it called by? Oh my goodness, all the networks. Wow. All the networks. We have to forget about the law. Judges don't count. This is real. It is not made up. It is not, there's nobody here that engages in fantasies.
If we're wrong, we will be made fools of. But if we're right, a lot of them will go to jail. So, let's have trial by combat.
And that was on January 6th, shortly before the goons invaded the Capitol with a noose to hang the vice president of the United States. I mean, and I think you make a really good point, Kurt, because, you know, this is a sinister figure, not a person that should be normalized in a game show type television show. And I guess that's why, you know, those two celebrity judges walked off, because this is somebody who engaged in a very serious criminal conspiracy to steal an election. It's really shocking, I guess, but not surprising, that he's still treated like he's just some normal guy that you can book to sing songs. It is outrageous. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and again, I have to applaud, first of all, you know, Robin Thicke and Ken Jeong for reacting the way that they did, which I think is the only way any decent human being would react to that type of revelation. And certainly they should be furious at the producers of the show, at the network who allows this to happen, that someone like this is given this type of position. I mean, I liken it to, imagine if after 9/11, some game show gave a position to one of the architects of that terrorist attack. To me, what happened on January 6th is on par with that. It's that severe. It's that dangerous. In fact, it's even more dangerous when you look at the erosion of democracy that right now that these forces led by Trump and Rudy Giuliani are still trying to perpetrate on our country right now. It's not like they stopped, that they went away, that there was a hiatus. This is an active and ongoing effort on their part that they've never relented on, and you're going to reward that with a platform, with exposure, with recasting him as a cartoon character, someone that shouldn't be worried about. He doesn't deserve that.
Yeah, and you know the QAnon shaman is going to get on Dancing with the Stars, like when he gets out of prison. Like, I mean, this is kind of what's happening in terms of normalizing the unnormalizable, including people, as you said, who literally acted against our democratic interests. And I think the other issue that I'd love you to get into a little bit. I mean, this guy's still under investigation. Like I'm not even sure how it's possible for him to be able to do this stuff and to do these sort of fun time things when he's still got to answer for the things that he might have done that were illegal.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there needs to be, a bit of a colonoscopy here on how the hell did this happen in the first place, Joy? Like, who made the decision? Who greenlit it? Who thought that putting entertainment value above our democracy was a good trade to make? Because that's really what's happened here. And I'm just so sick of seeing these type of figures from the Trump world, this, okay, we're going to give them this plug. We're going to get exposure for our show. We're going to make money off of this. And to hell with democracy, to hell with the rest of us, it doesn't matter. And then they try to act like they're not responsible for the type of wrath that they're going to bring upon all of us. When you do this, when you greenlight something like this, you are responsible for what happens after, and you are part and complicit in that person's actions. You are endorsing that person when you give them that type of spot.
Yeah, and I mean, and one wonders if when the January 6th Commission starts doing its live hearings, whether that is going to get the same kind of network exposure, for us to find out what happened that nearly happened to our democracy. Let me go back to the Democrats here, because this is, the January 6th Commission has a job that it has to do. But I'm also wondering if Democrats are communicating what you just said properly, because you had Joe Biden go out and call Mitch McConnell his friend. And, it is a Biden-y thing to do, to be Mr. Bipartisan. But sort of, I wonder if that alarm that you're communicating is being properly communicated from the top in the Democratic Party.
Well, I think that is. I look at someone like Jamie Harrison, the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, who I think has a very clear-eyed vision of what this Republican Party is capable of, having run against Lindsey Graham, of all people, who's kind of the poster child for the depravity of the Republican Party. Having someone like Jamie in this position, who has the ear of the White House, who has the ear of the president, who understands better than anybody firsthand what it's like to go up against this party. And I'll tell you, Joy, we've seen recently Republicans thumping their chest at the idea of being in power and hauling up Hunter Biden for investigations and doing all kinds of committee hearings targeting the Biden family. I think that the president is well aware now that of all the people who have the most to lose by Republicans regaining power, it's him and his family.
Yeah, I hope he is. And I hope he doesn't think Mitch McConnell will be there for him if that happens. Kurt Bardella, thank you very much. Really appreciate you, man. Up next.